Hey friends, it's Sean here. Today's a very important day. This is actually the first video log that I'm doing of my game that I'm developing called Jibidiah Moloka'i. Jibidiah Moloka'i, for those of you who don't know, it's supposed to be basically a fishing simulator with some realistic physics thrown in there. And yeah, I'm still kind of discovering where the game is going at the moment, but that's probably the best description I can give you. But anyways, so for the meat of this video, we're going to kind of go over a few things. We're going to go over the art assets that I've created so far. We're going to cover a flocking algorithm that creates schools of fish. We're going to also talk a little bit about Jib's moves and go over a water sim as well as a chatbot that I am creating for my NPCs right now. So yeah, let's just dive right in. So this is the main town called Yukai that I've been creating for a while now. Slowly working on it over the past 6 months or so, and it has about 60 or more layers to it. So each one of these different objects, it sits on its own layer to make it more um, easy to port into Unity when I'm setting up different scenes. So yeah, we have a couple pirates over here with a pirate ship. Got our main guy, very handsome. His best friend Fry. We have Akima. She is the innkeep, and then we have Sepulchre, who is the local magician or magic man, yeah, whatever you want to call him. I don't really care. So, and then we have a few rocks and cliffs, a bridge, ladders, houses, some plants here and there, like this cute little flower. And yeah, we also have some yellowtail tuna in the water and a Hawaiian sea turtle. So very cool stuff. Um, those are all just, I pulled these from reference images and then just redrew them myself from the reference for the animals. But that kind of is about it for the art assets. Next up, we're going to actually dive right into Unity here. So in this scene, this is my kind of my testing area for my flocking algorithm. I utilized the sprite that I drew for the yellowtail tuna as the initial, like, the first flock that I guess I've made. So yeah, we'll just start it up. I also don't mind Fry. He just runs across the screen. I was just trying out some new animations with him and thought this was a good place to do it. So so yeah, as you can see here, we have these yellowtail tuna moving in schools of fish, and they do this by three different behaviors. So they have adherence, cohesion, and avoidance as their three different mechanics. So they like to stay close together, go the same direction, but they don't like to be too close, essentially. And when it's properly implemented, this is what you typically see. If you're wondering, they're kind of digging their faces into the ground because they don't understand that this floor is not a fish. I need to program that or at least fix it later. So yeah, with that, you can see Jib has a fish on his hook. So currently, all that Jib can really do is do double jump and cast his line. His hook is a separate object from the main character, which is pretty cool. So I was able to give it some, independent rotation to it, just as he moves and jumps and applies different forces. So, but yeah, so there's that, and then Jib can cast his line by left clicking with a mouse, and it will go towards wherever your cursor is. The other cool thing about it is the speed at which it gets launched is proportional to how far away your cursor is. So if I'm way out here, it goes a lot faster versus if I'm closer, it'll go a bit slower. So, and then yeah, Jib can also reel it back to him by clicking the left mouse again, and he can release the fish by casting his line and then right-clicking to let it go. I believe it also works in the same way. You don't have to launch it, but you can just throw it out and then return the hook to you, right-clicking it. So yeah, there's just a couple things there to Jib. So if we move on, the next thing I wanted to cover was the water simulation that I had here. So currently it looks pretty blank, but this boat is enabled with buoyancy physics. So if I hit play, you'll kind of see what I mean. So yeah, like I said, the boat is enabled with buoyancy physics, so it will apply an upward force if um, the center of gravity falls below the surface of the water, which is pretty cool. Let's see. So I do want to show you guys what this is exactly. So if we just stop and then kind of go back in. So if we check out the scene, so the way I implemented this water this way is with what's called a mesh. So a mesh is like when it's first created, it's like a matrices of um, points and vertices and triangles. So the triangles are used to actually color it, but um, the real action happens on the top layer of points where I can create what's called a Gerstner wave. So everyone's familiar with sine waves and cosine waves, but when you combine the two, it actually will create these wave-like patterns. And currently I have about 5 different sets of Gerstner waves. You can actually see it in the code here. So this is what drives the behavior that you see on the screen. This last one actually has more of a tidal wave type behavior that creates more of a crashing motion, which you can see when it starts to fold into itself. It creates this little ribbony effect, which I do need to fix eventually. But you know, I was just pretty excited that I got it working in some capacity. So yeah, with that, you know, the last thing I wanted to show off was a little chatbot that I made that you know, it's I don't really understand how it works, if I'm going to be really honest with you, but I did follow a tutorial, and I'll leave the link to the tutorial in the description of this video if you're curious to learn a little bit more about it. But yeah, it's basically just uses a neural network, and it will take an input from a user. So you type in your keyboard something, and then it'll try to match um, an intent, like what the chatbot will try to determine what the player is trying to get after, essentially, and then it will provide an appropriate response. So like for example, if you ask it about alcohol, like more explicitly, do you drink alcohol, it will most likely say I cannot have alcohol, or I can't have alcohol. And then it doesn't have to be perfect either. It kind of goes by a pattern of words. So yeah, let's just give it a little try here, see if it'll function. It's not very good yet. I need to write a little bit more in the intents file to make it a little more robust, but let's see. It's starting up right now. Okay, so it's ready to go. So we can say hi, and it'll come back with what's up. You know, you can ask it like, what is life? And it said, I'm not sure. So it's a little quirky. You can say something like, you nerd, I don't like you. I don't know. And yeah, so this is where things come in. thinks you're asking it about water. Um, so yeah, it's not perfect, but it's pretty cool. It's more novel than useful, I think. So I think I'm gonna have to be very careful about how I choose to implement a feature like this. Probably turn this off. Anyways, yeah, if you made it this far, I would just want to say thank you for watching, and yeah, hopefully I can get some more work done on this within the next month, and maybe have a little bit more progress for you in the next video. Talk to you later. Love you. Bye.